All right, today we're going to look at Unit 2, Lesson 2. So we're going to start with a what do you notice, what do you wonder? So pause the video and take a minute and just look at this. All right, so I'm noticing that each block represents 1. So we have 9 single blocks, two sets of 10, that's our 20, 3 sets of 100, that's 300. I'm also noticing down here 10 to the second power, that's 100. Okay, so 3 times 100 would be 300. 10 to the first, that's 10, times 2 would be our 20. 10 to the 0 equals 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So this is really 9 times 1, which gives us our 9. So these are all 4 different ways of representing the number 329. All right, so it says polynomials in the integers. Consider the polynomial function given by p of x equals 5x to the third plus 6x squared plus 4x. It says evaluate each function at x equals -5 and at x equals 15. So I'm just going to plug that in. So p of -5 is 5 times -5 to the third power plus 6 times -5 to the second power plus 4 times -5. Okay, so -5 to the third power would be 125. So we have 5 times 125, and it'd be negative because there's 3 of them, plus -5 to the second would be a positive 25. 4 times -5 would be -20. Okay, so I'm almost there. I could go one more step here. 5 times -125 is -500. 6 times 25 is 150 minus 20. Okay, so -500 plus 150 would be -350. Minus 20 would be -370. -370. Okay, I can do the same thing with 15. P of 15 is 5 times 15 to the third plus 6 times 15 to the second plus 4 times 15. I'm just plugging it in there. This time I'm going to need my calculator. Okay, so 15 to the third is 3,375. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that times 5. So 16,875. 15 squared is 225 times 6 is 1,350. 4 times 15, that's 60. So I can just add those 3 together. So 16,875 plus 1,350 plus 60. I get a total of 1,800 or 18,285. Just plugged it in. All right, question 2 then. Question 2 says, how does knowing that 5,000 plus 600 plus 40 equals 5,640 help you solve the equation? Okay, 5x cubed plus 6x squared plus 4x equals 5,640. Well, if 4x correlates to the 40, then x must be 10. So let's go ahead and work that on through there. So that means 5 times 10 to the third plus 6 times 10 to the second plus 4 times 10 must be 5,640. Well, 10 squared is 100 times 6. That works. That gives me the 600. 10 to the third, that's 1,000 times 5. That gives me the 5,000. So it works. Okay. All right, so this next part, we're going to start talking about some interest rates here for a minute. Okay. It says, at the end of 12th grade, Claire's aunt started investing money for her to use after graduating from college 4 years later. The first deposit was $300. If R is the annual interest rate of the account, then the end of each school year, the balance in the account is multiplied by a growth factor of X, which equals 1 plus R. Now let's make sense out of that. The 1 represents 100% of the money she started with, plus R represents the interest paid on the investment. Okay, so after 1 year, the total value is 300 times X. So 300 times the 1%, 100% would be the initial investment, plus the interest rate. After 2 years, the total value is 300x, that's how much added at the end of the first year, times x again, which would be the value after being paid interest again for the next year. So you got 300x squared. Write an expression for the total value after graduation in terms of x. Okay, so 2 years was 300x squared. 3 years would be 300x squared times x, which would be 300x to the third. 4 years would be 300x to the third, year 3, times x again, which would be 300x to the fourth. So the thing I want you to catch here, this exponent tells us how many years you're being paid interest on it. Okay, so we know 300x to the fourth was after 4 years of interest. So Claire's aunt had invested another $500 at the end of her freshman year. What would the expression be for the total value after graduation in terms of x? Okay, so the first year she had $300 invested. Okay, so that's going to last for 4 years. The next year, her aunt invests $500, and that's going to sit there for another 3 years. Okay, so we got 300x to the fourth plus 500x to the third. Okay, again, the whole thing we're wanting you to catch here is this exponent tells you how long the money was left in the investment. All right, next it says, suppose that $250 was invested at the end of a sophomore year, $400 at the end of a junior year, in addition to the original $300 and the $500 at the end of the freshman year. Write an expression for the total value after graduation. Okay, so the original investment, $300, that's going to sit there for 4 years. After the end of freshman year, there was $500 added to it. It's going to sit there for 3 years. At the end of sophomore year, $250 was added to it. That's going to sit for 2 more years. At the end of her junior year, another $400 was added. That's going to sit there for another year. And then she graduates and she gets the money. So we've got her total investment. All right, it says the total amount y in dollars after 4 years is a function y equals c of x. So we're just saying y is the graph of this function. So c of x would be this function, okay, of the growth factor x. If the total Claire receives after graduation is c of x equals $1,580, use a graph to find the interest rate that the account earned. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph this equation and this equation, and we're going to see where they cross and see what happens. So I'm going to switch to Desmos. Let me jump over here. So I have Desmos. So I'm going to enter the first equation, and I'm going to say y equals 300x. Now I'm using the caret. It's above the 6. So hit Shift 6 to the 4th power, and then the right arrow, plus 500x Shift 6 to the 3rd, right arrow, plus 250x Shift 6 to the 2nd, right arrow, plus 400. And you'll notice I can't see much of this graph. Oh, 400x, I lost that. Okay, so this graph is kind of all spread out all over the place. Okay, I'm also going to graph y equals $1,580 because that's what we said she got in the end of this. Now, if you'll notice this graph, it only goes up to 4 here. Okay, so I know I'm zoomed way far in. I need to zoom out. So I'm going to zoom in way in because I know I need to get that y-axis to where I'm at least to 15,080. So I'm going to center that again. And I'm going to zoom in then at 1580 and see what I can see there. Okay. All right, so I want to know where the red graph crosses the blue graph. So I'm just going to drop a point there. Click on it, and it drops a point there. If you hover over it, it'll tell you what the point is. Okay, so that's the ordered pair, 1.035, 1580. So that means the x value is 1.035. All right, so I'm going to switch that. Oh, hang on. I'm going to minimize that. So x equals 1.035. Well, up here at the top, we said that x equals 1 plus r. So 1 plus r equals 1.035. So if I subtract 1 from both sides, r equals 0.035. Now, if I want to turn that into a percent, remember I have to move the decimal 2 places. So that becomes 3.5%. Okay? So she was paid 3.5% interest per year. And we use the graph to help us figure that out. All right, good luck on the assignment. Be sure you read through the summary. It has another way to think about this. And get the practice problems done. Have a great day.